to Hedgehog Hollow. So today I'm going to be showing you how to make a super simple interactive die. This is our double dialer die. How cute is this? It's completely unique. It's exclusive to Hedgehog Hollow, which I'm so excited about. And this was in our October subscription box, which is shipping now if you're watching this as it's released. So this is the die. I've just cut out some thin cardstock, which is why I have my little pieces in here. Also, I do find that it depends on my sandwich or sometimes even on the actual die cutting machine that I use. So there's lots of tips and tricks if you just kind of Google around. But also a thicker cardstock for me doesn't seem to ever yield this same issue. But I was just doing this as a demo. You can see we just added some cute little shapes we had pre-die cut. I don't know about you, but when I die cut things, I just throw them in a box and I think, well, someday I'm going to use that. And today we did. So this is how you get the double dialer. So your die in the box will actually be the opposite way around. I haven't received my one. These were the samples. We realized it was the wrong way around. So I'm going to show you one. When you cut out, it will actually be like this. That's how it's going to look. And I'm going to be showing you this mechanism on the back and how you do this assembly. It honestly is really easy. So the first thing you're going to do, when you get your die, everything is D-tabbed. So it just comes straight off, and you want to cut one of these and you want to cut one of these. And of course, one of your base pieces. So that's all you need are these three pieces to build this interactive die. I told you it was easy. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is turn it the other way up, and we're going to put our dial in place. Now in the subscription box, we've given you some brads. You'll notice the bags are of a mixed size. You can use either size. I find the small ones are slightly easier, but it doesn't really matter. So I'm literally just putting it through. So I'll do that again. So I'm taking it here. I'm putting it underneath. There's already all the holes are made for you. So you're going to put your piece in there. Your piece goes straight through there. And you open it up. Now, don't do your brads up too tight. You see how mine here are a little bit loose? And we're going to add, you know, if we want to add this to our card front, we're going to add foam to make sure we've allowed space for our brads. And that's what gives it this nice amount of movement. Okay, so that's step number one. Super simple. Now, here you have a couple of options. So I have a couple of tips for you depending on how you want to do it. So we're going to take our brad now on here, and we're going to start doing this assembly in here. So the first thing you want to do is you want to do your little I don't know, belt buckle piece type thing, and you're going to assemble it with your brad going through. So you're going to take, you see how on this side there's a little hole, you're going to poke your brad through, and you're going to poke it through this piece here. Again, not too tight, but just open it up gently. You see? Again, really simple. We're nearly there. We have two brads left to go. Now, the next piece you have, you're going to take two more brads, and you want your little wings of your brads, I'm sure they probably have specialist names, but you want them to go in the direction of the swivel piece. And if you do that, then you'll find it's super simple to do, depending on how you do it. Now, I realize I just put mine in the wrong way up. So again, it's really easy to change. Of course, you could do your dial on either side, just depending on how you want it to do it. So I can just literally flip this the other way. I can pop my brad through just like this. You see how simple this is? I'm just gonna pop my brad through like this. And you can put this brad through either way, just depending on how you're going to be doing the card and depending on what paper you're putting on top and all those kinds of things. So this is exactly the same, and I'm literally just going to then swivel that piece to the other side. So if we look at the back, we have our wheel and we have our little belt. So exactly the same way. So still the same. And you can see you can have it on either way, depending on which way you want it to go around, which is really cool too, that you can have it either way. I think that's a really cool part of the design. Okay, so now I have a couple of options. So you want those prongs to either go up and down. So you see how these prongs are going to go here. You're going to open them. So I'm going to open this one up with my fingers. So you're going to open them so that these prongs fit through here. You see how that goes? So when it's open, that's how it's going to be in the back. We're not doing that just yet, but that's how you're going to want to be. And you're going to want it to be the same here. And that's going to stop any like scratching or catching or anything like that. So just remember that when you open your prongs up, you want your prongs to be in the direction of the card. We found that way we didn't have any issues with the mechanisms at all. Okay, so the brad you've got do fit perfectly through this hole like this. So now you can grab your brad through the hole and through that hole into your little belt. So you can see there. So I've gone through the hole in the front, through my little belt, and then I can open that up. But I want to show you a top tip that you have an option for, is we cut just like these little scrap pieces of cardstock that you can punch a hole through, or you can even use your brad to make the hole, which is what we did on this one. And I'm going to poke my brad through it first. So what you can do is, it doesn't have to be any particular shape, you can see we just cut these out by hand, is add that on first, then poke your brad through, and then open up. Now the only reason we found that this part can be useful, and I'm making sure my prongs go in the right direction, and again my brad wants to be fairly loose, so I don't want it too tight. There we go. So you can see there, it's going nicely. The reason I like adding this extra little shape, and you can trim it down so it doesn't catch over here, is it just gives you a little bit more surface area to glue your snowman or your shape onto, because the box itself does come with a ton of stamp sets as well. We give you postcards and envelopes and card bases and all those things. But you also get these Santa stamps. Aren't they super cute? So Santa can jump out the chimney. He fits perfectly on this mechanism. Rudolph can hold him, pass him some presents. You can do all sorts of cute things with that. You've got the snowmen that can dance around. I mean, you can do this, of course, for any occasion. And then you have lots of sentiments as well. So all of that's included in the box, as is a stencil for our regular subscribers. I'll pop that over here. It's easier to see. So all of that's in the box. Candy, coupon codes, all of those fun things go in there too. Plus daily tutorials from our design team. So lots of tutorials on how to assemble this. Lots of tutorials on how to use everything in the box. So you can either add the item on like this, or I'll do this one without, but we did have a circle cut out so you can see you can do the same. And again, I'm putting my brad in, so I'm just literally popping it through that hole, and I'm opening my spikes facing the direction of travel. And if I just do it that way, you see how nicely my mechanism moves? I mean, just look how easy that is. No catching, no issues. And if you want to pop pattern paper on it first or stencil it, you can do all of those kinds of fun things too. But if you wanted to, you could of course do that. Or now you could just take a glue dot and glue your snowman or, you know, your sun and your cloud on top. And this is it going one way. And this, of course, is the mechanism going the other way. So that's it. It is super, super simple. You can make it in under 10 minutes. It's a really, really easy interactive card. We include the brads for you, the dies included, the stamps, everything. So if you haven't grabbed one already, I'll put a link in the description, or you can go to thehedgehogholo.com/shop and you can grab the October box. We can't wait to see what you create as well. And I will see you again in the next video. I hope you're subscribed and you're following along with Inktoberfest as well. I'll see you soon. Bye.